What is up, world? Welcome back. Charge the Game podcast. And Stephen A. Smith takes to his podcast to make it loud and clear for the 50th millionth time that when it comes to Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, there is no comparison. And unfortunately, due to that significant John Cena, you can't see me in the NCAA Women's National Basketball Championship. Angel Reese will forever be tied to the hip of Caitlin Clark. Wow. Talk about riding the coattail. Your whole career is pretty much going to be set up. And Angel Reese has to be happy that she was the one person that taunted Caitlin Clark like no other, because this seems to be a debate that somehow, some way will not go away. Okay? Now, it says here, guys, that Stephen A. Smith discussed on the Stephen A. Smith Show, admitting that Reese ain't Clark. We will acknowledge Angel Reese is popular and she's valuable. She ain't Caitlin Clark. She's not the player and she's not the box office attraction that Caitlin Clark is. That's number one. Okay? Number two, because Caitlin Clark is that box office attraction, initially we thought that the league was being jeopardized because if she's not able to play every night, it compromises their numbers, revenue-wise, ratings-wise, attendance-wise, etc. It compromises them. Notably, this is not the first time Smith has spoken along this line. Of course, guys, it goes into previous history where it says, as much as we love Angel Reese because she is special, she's not Caitlin Clark as a player. Caitlin Clark is on a different level. We just have to own it. Angel Reese can rebound the basketball. She's a damn good player. She's got a bright future in the WNBA, but Caitlin Clark is next level. Angel Reese's popularity in large is attributed to her behavior towards Caitlin Clark, because when Caitlin Clark was busy taunting opponents a couple years back before LSU smacked Iowa around in the national championship game or so, it was Angel that was clapping back at Caitlin Clark once it was Clark's turn to have her come up ends. And that's what made Angel Reese famous. If it were not for that moment, I'm telling you guys, I think Angel Reese will probably be traded off the Chicago Sky. She has been that bad. Have you guys also noticed, ever since Caitlin Clark's been injured, Angel Reese has been quote unquote injured as well. No timetable on Angel Reese return as well. I see what's going on, Angel Reese. You got a good PR team, okay? You can't let Caitlin Clark sit out while you continue to squander these games, because it's not good for your brand, right? These Reebok endorsements, no one's really buying that shoe, okay? No one's selling out of an Angel Reese shoe the way that Caitlin Clark sold out of her player edition Kobe Prontos 5s and the Pronto 6s, okay? Like, let's just be real. Angel Reese is really smart, right? And I just thought of that while making this video. I'm starting to see a lot of what I said, guys, and I predicted that Angel Reese would take the season with some mysterious injury, because she knows she can't carry a team the way Caitlin Clark can. She knows that her team will not be in the WNBA finals, or the playoffs, the way Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever look like they are positioning themselves to be. But I'm going to make another video about this one. I'm going to get back to what Stephen A. Smith said about the basics. Okay, the bare minimum, what we all know is that Caitlin Clark is an elite generational talent, right? Angel Reese is not. Candace Parker, Ice Cube, everybody's catching flack, especially if you're a black person in the black community, for not kissing Angel Reese's ass, for not bending the knee to a fucking 22, 23-year-old. What world is this where we can't keep it real in sports, right? Of course, you got the narrative out there now that the Indiana Fever look better without Caitlin Clark. Whoop-de-doo, guys. Whoop-de-doo. We'll let you guys believe that. But Caitlin Clark has showed us from college. Both years she made it to the Natty, right? The national championship. Rookie year took a team that hasn't won in 13 years or something like that, 13 seasons, right? To where they are now, which is pretty much America's team until the Cowboys take the field in September, right? Even then, guys, it's still going to be hard to compete. If Caitlin Clark was up and running and had the momentum she had at the beginning of the season, guys, the WNBA will be on fire. And it is no question about it. No question about it. Right? Honest to God truth. These green objects, these green dildos that are flying on the court. Seriously, no one would care if Caitlin Clark was not in the WNBA. We have to acknowledge that Caitlin Clark puts attention on the WNBA regardless, even if she's on the court or off the court. Angel Reese has been off the court, and she still doesn't get the clicks, the headlines that Caitlin Clark gets. Okay, it is what it is. Everybody's waiting on Caitlin Clark. People are holding their breath, right? Sophia Cunningham, her podcast would not be popping if she did not play alongside Caitlin Clark. We would not know Kelsey Mitchell or Leah Boston, let alone they would not be an all-star. They wouldn't be in the all-star if they weren't teammates with Caitlin Clark. Okay, let's be real. Angel Reese is there by default. Angel Reese gets the BET Sportswoman of the Year award by default. Time Magazine kissing her ass, giving her awards by default. Vogue Magazine kissing her ass, giving her acknowledgement by default. And out of all, 2K kissing ass, bending the knee, because they have to make Angel Reese into something to compete with Caitlin Clark. And we all know that this is a one-way rivalry. It's a one-way beef. Caitlin Clark does not talk. When Caitlin Clark goes to Chicago to play the Chicago Sky, she doesn't do all the tweeting and posting that Angel Reese does. She signs up, and not only are Fever fans in line, so are Sky fans to get some type of picture, to get some sort of an autograph. Do we see this, guys, with the Chicago Sky? When Angel Reese comes to visit Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indiana, do we see this? We don't see this at all. Not one bit, right? Come on, guys. You know I'm telling the truth. You know I'm telling the truth. And the fact that Stephen A. Smith, who's been a little quiet lately, we know he's into politics, and I probably will make a video about what he said with Donald Trump, looking to investigate Caitlin Clark because it might feed into his fan base or something like that. It's a bit too far, whatever. But when Stephen A. Smith talks about Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, he often keeps it real. Does he do a bit of pandering in the beginning? He did. Yeah, a little bit. Didn't want to piss off Monica McButt, right? Andreas Carter and Chanae Ngumake, right? You don't want to make them mad. You got to play nice with your counterparts over there at ESPN. But we all know the truth, that Angel Reese has been put on a pedestal. She's getting a lot of attention that she would not get if she did not do the taunting towards Caitlin Clark in the NCAA finals, guys. It is just the truth, right? Ever since then, Angel Reese gets into all-star games by default, this and that. I get it. It is to build the league up. It is to somehow divide the fan base, make it white versus black, which I don't like. But if that's how they got to get the WNBA off their feet, then I guess that's what's best for them. I look at the talent. If Angel Reese was better than Caitlin Clark, I'd probably be an Angel Reese fan. I really would. But I have a huge problem with people who just want to give Angel Reese this credit because she's black. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. And I'm a black man. Does not make sense to me. Not one bit. Ice Cube caught flack for saying that, hey, we wanted to sign Caitlin Clark to a $5 million deal with the Big Three. Of course, TMZ is messy as shit, so they say, why don't you give the same deal to Angel Reese? Well, the endorsements weren't talking the same type of money for Angel Reese. It's just facts. People, these brands, these corporations, they're going to get behind what's going to give them the best return on investments. And by default, Angel Reese has a nice fan base because she does dress half naked. So does Sophie Cunningham. Angel Reese shakes her ass. Angel Reese is unapologetically Angel with the podcast and shit. We get it, okay? She is popular, and because of her nasty antics towards Caitlin Clark, it keeps her valuable. If Angel Reese pulls the racial card, guys, it increases her stocks. You know why? Because this is where we are as a country, right? We somehow still, right? I'm not going to even get into that, guys. Let's just scratch that. But I think a lot of y'all know where I'm going, okay? Let me just be honest about that. But moral of the story is, guys, even when Angel Reese plays Caitlin Clark, if Angel Reese is having a bad game, she's somehow going to blame it on racism. She's going to blame it on the Fever fans. She's going to do whatever she has to do to keep the attention off of her and her horrendous play. Caitlin Clark does not do that, right? Which I respect. Caitlin Clark might talk shit on the court. She may even bitch too much to the refs. But one thing we can't deny is her talent. Is what we've seen. We saw what she did against the New York Liberty, guys. We've never in our lives, seriously, in our lives, seen Angel Reese put together a game where we're just like, wow, oh my God, you're grabbing your head, you're in disbelief. Caitlin Clark plays, her style of play is just like watching Ja Morant slam dunk a ball because you don't see it in the WNBA as often. That's why Caitlin Clark stands out the way that she does. You guys see it every arena she goes to, sold out, packed out. Angel Reese does not have the same effect. The Chicago Sky don't have national televised games 41 times throughout the year the same way that the Indiana Fever, the way that they have that, okay? That's not happening for Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky. It's just not happening. So you guys let me know what y'all think. I can go on and on and on if y'all want me to. I'm just playing. Let me know what y'all think, man. Drop those comments in the comment section like you often do. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.